Well, today and for the next several weeks, I will be reviewing probably one of the most famous and popular movie series of all time, really. It's the Harry Potter series. I know most people have heard of this, but not necessarily everyone has seen it, and it has been over 10 years since the first movie came out. That being said, even if you have seen the movies, these reviews are my opinion of the movies, and so it's a little bit different than just me telling you what the movies are about, but I will do that. For those of you who don't know, Harry Potter, specifically this first movie, is about a young boy named Harry Potter. So he lives with his aunt and uncle, and because his parents died when he was just a baby, lives with his aunt and uncle and cousin, who are all just terrible to him. They hate him, but they, for some reason, put up with him. And so one day he finds out that he is a wizard. Oh, it's so fantastic for him. He gets to get away from these crazy relatives of his that hate him. So he goes to a wizarding school called Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, where he gets to learn how to be a wizard and meets other wizards and young witches and stuff. It's just like a school, but basically learning just how to do magic and how to be a wizard. And it's all new for him because he didn't even know this existed, as opposed to people who he goes to school with who have grown up in wizarding families and everything. And so Harry Potter finds out that he is famous, really, in the wizarding world, but he didn't know this. He's famous because when he was a baby, his parents were killed by this dark wizard called Lord Voldemort, and he survived when Voldemort tried to kill him, and so then that's when he went and lived with his aunt and uncle because they were his only living relatives. And when Lord Voldemort tried to kill Harry Potter, Lord Voldemort pretty much died. He didn't completely die, but no one really knows what happened to him. And so Harry Potter goes to the school, he's kind of famous, and then he meets friends, Ron and Hermione, and he becomes friends with them. And the movie just kind of progresses from there. It focuses on Harry and his friends kind of getting into trouble, but not like going out and like breaking things. It's just kind of like finding themselves in trouble with what they have to do. Like they get detention and they have to go out into this dark forest on the Hogwarts grounds and stuff. And there is Lord Voldemort might be coming back, so there's kind of hints of that happening. It kind of progresses throughout the entire series with Voldemort and Harry and stuff, but this movie doesn't really get too far into it, and so it kind of progresses from there. I won't really say what else happens. You gotta just watch the movie. So what I like and didn't like about this movie, initially, before the movies came out, I was a giant Harry Potter fan. Like now, I like the movies still, I like the books, but when I was a kid, I was a gigantic fan. I had Harry Potter posters, I had all the books. I'd read the first 4 books by the time the first movie came out. I think the 5th one came out after the movies had started being released. So I had all 4 of the first books, and I was a huge Harry Potter fan, so naturally I went to see the movie right when it came out in November of 2001, I believe it was. I think it was like November 20-something. I still remember the date, November 22nd, November 21st maybe. Not really important. But yeah, I was a huge Harry Potter fan, and so when the movie came out, I naturally went to see it. I've been watching them recently, kind of week by week, watching a few different movies. I'm on the I've watched the first 3 so far. I've seen them dozens of times, really. The first few more than the last few. I've only seen the newer ones a couple times each. First few, though, I went crazy watching because, like I said, I was a huge fan. And the one thing I always noticed was the amount of details that they cut from the book for the movie. Now, of course, they're going to have to do this with a book-to-movie film just because they can't put every detail in, otherwise the movie will be literally like a dozen hours long to 20 hours long, which would be a bit ridiculous. So they did cut a lot from the movie. However, it doesn't really affect your movie watching experience if you've never seen the books. If you're like me, it doesn't really bother you a whole lot because you know what happened and you're like, oh, they cut that. Not a big deal, whatever. I'm sure there are some diehard fans who go ape shit when they see a certain thing cut. But this movie and the second movie were directed by a guy named Christopher Columbus, a different one. And he did a pretty good job of, I guess it wasn't really totally his decision, but somewhat, I would say. It was more so probably the screenwriter's decision, but the director has a lot of say in what happens with the screenplay, I believe. So anyways, I think he did a good job, or they did a good job of kind of incorporating a little bit of everything from the book, Like there's a sport called Quidditch. They incorporate that because a lot of like the fans of Harry Potter are big fans of this, and they wanted to see it on the big screen, which is interesting. It's a sport that they play on brooms and they fly around. It's kind of nuts. It's like soccer or football on yeah, that was my weird foreign accent. But anyways, so it's basically like soccer on brooms, kind of, just with wizarding twists. So enough blabbing. That's what I don't really like about the movie. How there just aren't a lot of details. With these first couple of movies, the actors are of course like 10 or 11, and they aren't very good yet because for the most part it's all of their first go at a film, and so they aren't amazing at acting or anything. And there are a couple other things that that just kind of bother me here and there, but they aren't anything major. Like I said, it's just things to do with being cut from the book that are in the movie, and they kind of change things around a little bit just to kind of speed the process of the movie up. What I like about the movie is naturally just how well it's done. Now, like when they first came out, the special effects were awesome. Now I'm able to see, oh, that's green screen. Clearly, it's a green screen. You can kind of pick these things out. But when the movie first came out, it was really good special effects. Now they're still pretty decent. They did an overall decent job of going from book to movie, kind of doing a transition of whatever you'd like to call it. It's overall pretty good. It's not my most favorite movie. I kind of like the fourth and fifth, I think. I don't even know. I haven't seen them in a while. But it's a good movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. Rewatchability rating, 8 out of 10 as well. Because you can watch it as much as you'd like and not really get bored with it if you're a fan of Harry Potter. If you've never seen Harry Potter, I don't know where you've been. Maybe you just think you're too cool for it. Sure, it sounds nerdy, but who gives a shit? It's a movie. If you think you're being judged, or if you think you're a nerd for watching Harry Potter, then you're probably a douche and I would hate you. But that has nothing to do with the movie review. So if you've never seen Harry Potter, I absolutely do recommend checking it out. I'm sure you've heard of Harry Potter, but you've just thought you're too cool to watch it. That's probably not the case, so watch it. I'll be back next week reviewing the second Harry Potter movie. I know this one was very ramblish, but that doesn't really matter because all of you know what Harry Potter is. And it doesn't matter what I say because if you've seen it, I'm sure you liked it and will probably watch it again. If you've never seen it, you'll probably never watch it.